Sadly, here in India, currently that is not there because I feel that even the big platforms, I don't want to take any names.
How do you evaluate specifically, spot a undervalue properties?
A lot of people end up making a bad decision when they buy real estate. मैंने कॉलेज पास किया, मेरा सबसे पहला इन्वेस्टमेंट था मेरा घर। 18,000 की सैलरी थी।
Question to you is who secretly shaped you the way you think about money and investment and asset classes, owning things, and what money habits or principle do you follow very religiously right now to become wealthy?
Yeah.
From here, okay. So my first question to you is, for example, in Singapore, okay, their government has done a lot of public SDB flats, okay,
Yeah.
where government grants and saving schemes are there, very affordable housing property people can afford, right? But that's not in case of India. So
Yeah.
why do you think even though AI and other Digital
Hmm.
India, Make in India, other thing government is promoted, but why government is failed for getting those things, or maybe tech infusion specifically on real estate industry? Because for me, if you see, okay, any industry, okay, AI, IT, whatever, the level of technology they have already really infused. But still I do feel that real estate is right now still not at 2026. The technology that is already there on the real estate industry is back
Yeah.
90s or 80s, it feels like. Why so,
I agree. I
yeah.
agree, Kedar. So first of all, see, not that government is not doing anything. You have the Prime Minister housing schemes which are there for the affordable segments. But like I said, I totally agree with you that a customer, if he wants to choose a particular inventory for himself, it becomes very difficult for it. That is the reason why I strongly believe in having first, number one, distributors and brokers who understand the market better. Uh, Let me give an example. How many times, if you see, ask any customer who's going to buy a flat or a property, it becomes very difficult for him to understand what the property papers are all about. Right. So first of all, you need to understand, keep boss, I do not get into a, because almost all of land, let me tell you, at least in Maharashtra, Bombay, is under litigation. So you
Yeah.
do not get a, so you need to understand that. So I agree. I feel there has to be a portal where all these property needs to be listed, which
Yeah,
are clear,
centralized.
green signal from the government side. It becomes very easy for. So I'm just giving my wish list. Okay.
Yeah,
And if
yeah,
this happens, I'm sure we can definitely reach there. In some way, we are also trying to address the problems that the real estate has. Maybe it's early days. It's just been 1.5 years of our inception. So we are trying to address the core issue first. But what you have asked is a very pertinent issue. Second is that, there are a lot of companies which are working towards that direction. Now, if you see, go to the UAE markets, and there are many platforms. If you just put in, ki, bhai, this is my requirement, this is what I want, this is what my financial situation is. Can you just tell me what are the projects that are suit me? So they have this tailored solution there where they kind of stitch, a perfect or proposal without any, hidden cost of ki, yaar, where am I getting more revenues and all, and they present it to you. Sadly, here in India, currently that is not there because I feel that even the big platforms, I don't want to take any names of them, they are only putting in data. They are not giving information. They are not giving analytics. They are, of course, they are showing comparison. But how would a customer want it to be easy? Ki boss, what is the lowest home rate for me? Number one, आप मुझे पहले ये बताओ. आप मुझे बताओ कि अगर मेरा इतना इनकम है तो वेयर कैन आई इन्वेस्ट विद द बेस्ट आरओआई. आप मुझे ये भी बताओ. तो तीसरा, अब मुझे कंपेयर करके बताओ कि इसी प्रोजेक्ट में, इसी लोकेलिटी में 3 प्रोजेक्ट है, विच इज द बेस्ट फॉर मी. So people are trying to do that, not that they are not. Just that I feel that it is not organized and to a level which a customer will want to have. The last bit is the government's regulations and guidelines that has to be easy. I feel it is still cumbersome in some places while they are promoting, housing and, a lot of development in urban areas, for example, Bombay. I still feel there has to be more to be done. For example, let me give you a clear cut where the developers get stuck is an issue where they have to go to multiple tables. Imagine a situation where under one table you get all the approvals. This
yeah.
entire cycle of approvals becomes very easy.
Yes,
Today,
yes.
the number of tables are increasing day by day.
Yeah.
And where the cost increases, the cost of affordability increases, the cost of the land is increasing. So ultimately, the loser is the client, the customer, right?
Yeah.
Hence, this is where we feel that there has to be something done, and I feel there will be done. Maybe it's in the right areas that the government is thinking. So let's hope that we see something like Singapore, maybe not so early, but yeah, towards that direction.
Got it, Deepak. So nicely said. So as you mentioned now, so I have a like follow-up question like regards to that only.
Yeah.
So do you think currently mostly buyer is out of the game, let's say, among the
Hmm.
seller and government, quietly like who is like winning the more? Because if let's say buyer is like losing, so
Government. It's government all the way. I think
yeah,
whether it is a developer, whether it is a buyer, government is making the most of it. It's very simple. The calculations are maybe I'll be in a position to make you understand how this entire calculations work, but we'll have to spend more time on it. But to give you a very clear answer, there is no ambiguity that the government is making more because the kind of revenue system that is built around approval up to CC, even up to RERA approvals that before that you can't sell. There is a lot of places that the revenue goes to the government. There was a time where the developers were making a lot of money. Let me tell you, 5 years back, that you would see very good numbers, very good ROIs. Today, the same is decreased drastically because of course the approval cost, land cost, and third is the acquisition cost, which is marketing. That's also not been easy because अभी आप बताओ अगर पहले 5 प्लेयर्स थे आज 5 की जगह 25 हो गए हैं. So एक तो आपका टाइम फ्रेम बढ़ गया है. टुडे डेवलपर व्हाई ही इज आल्सो स्टक विद अ लॉट ऑफ इन्वेंट्री. एक तो सप्लाई ज्यादा है. कस्टमर हैज मोर चॉइस ना. सो देयर इज अ रैट रेस कि यार लेट मी सी ऑल द 10-12 ऑप्शंस. पहले वो 2 या 3 ऑप्शन पे जाता था. Hence his decision was quicker. So you will understand that every delay in decision, disturbs the cash flow for the customer. Because developer क्या है, cash flow for the developer. Because developer has taken fund, he's taken construction fund at a X percentage. The more the delay, the more he's paying the money, right? So
yeah,
his margins are lower. So I feel that if there can be a little more in terms of given towards incentives, I would say to the developers. Not that it's not been given. There have been areas where they've been incentivized into extra additional FSIs, where they've been able to construct more. Especially in Bombay, these things are being done. I feel there has to be a standard look onto how this entire mechanism of smooth sales as well as inventory as well as has to go, especially given the fact that the new geopolitical situation. Look at what's happening outside India as well. A lot of people in America are not so secure, right? They feel
yeah.
there could be a situation where they'll have to come back to India. So there are people who looking to come back and probably settle down or invest into a property, but it's not so easy, because if you are trying to get expats back, you will want to give them the best or equivalent, kind of a apartment or a property or a product that is there outside. So there has to be kind of a effort made towards that direction.
Got it, Deepak. So, Deepak, as we know, like, in India right now, there are many asset classes where a individual retail investor
Hmm.
can invest, okay? Be it
Yeah.
equity or gold, silver, commodity or like real estate or whatever, okay? So now, at this stage, okay, in any asset class, the people who are making profit generally they buy low, sell high, right?
Yeah.
It can
Yeah.
the time frame can be like long or short, depend upon the trading or investment. Like long
Correct.
term, it does not matter, but that is the like core principle. Okay, so having this context, I have a like question for you. So my question to you is, how do you evaluate specifically like spot a undervalued property so that we can like truly like identify in any part of like India. It can be like I want a generic so that anyone who is like listening to us, it does not matter whether they are on Mumbai or Delhi or like Bangalore, they can spot a undervalued property, some kind of like hack or like any like principle that they can follow. And specifically, if you have like some sort of like let's say tick mark to quickly like evaluate to make a decision with like yes or no to maybe like decide a property to find maybe like red flag no or yes something like that. Yes, please.
So I'm very happy you asked this question because I feel that a lot of people end up making a bad decision when they buy real estate.
Yeah,
So what are those first red flags? Let me tell you. Number one is the brand. Very important that you choose a developer that has a delivery record. If you are choosing a overnight developer who's starting the project, and you never know that he'll get stuck up because
Yeah.
experience matters a lot. So सबसे
Yes.
पहले तो brand देखो आप. Now why is the brand important? Because even the brand का valuation भी ज़्यादा होता है, the resale value काफी होता है, right? If you want to sell and go out and you have a brand like name like a Godrej or a Lodha, Rustam ji, these are some Raheja, these are some very good brands, Oberoi. So they, you know that they will deliver. Now you also have a lot of developers coming from South, right? You've got Prestige coming in. So these guys have delivered, millions and millions square feet. Hence, you can definitely trust them. Second hack is that you need to enter into the property at the right time. अगर आपको एंटर करना एट अ टाइम जहाँ पे कंस्ट्रक्शन हो चुका है, देन ट्रस्ट मी, यू आर गेटिंग द रेट विच इज द मार्केट रेट एंड इट इज नॉट अ इन्वेस्टर रेट, इट इज अ
Okay.
एंड यूजर रेट. ठीक है.
Okay.
सो अगर आपको इन्वेस्टर हो और अगर आपको प्रॉपर्टी के राइट टाइम पे एंटर करना है, तो देर आर टू पार्ट्स ऑफ इट. वन इज प्री approvals, one is as soon as you receive the basic approval of say CC and the RERA. So at the launch phase you normally get around 10 to 20% better valuation at the launch phase because developers yet to start the construction work. And there are also certain people who get much better valuation if you have some cash there with you lying around and you want to enter even before the approval. And if you selected the right person and the right brand,
Yeah. Yeah.
then you get a much better valuation. Then, of
Yes.
course, you get a property rate which is half the rate of what. That's the basic
The
calculation.
end. Yeah.
अगर
Yeah.
पचास
Got it.
हजार पर
Yes.
स्क्वायर फीट है तो 25 और 30 के बीच में आपको मिल सकता है अगर अप्रूवल नहीं है तो.
Yeah.
That's the second. Third thing is the location. Okay.
Yeah.
The third, why location? Because in real estate, it is one thing is very important. The location sells. So do not go for the gimmick of the huge sales office of the developer, the presentation, the kind of people that are sitting to say sell. If you've got these three points tick mark, and of course, I'm expecting that you would have gone through the documentation on the legal papers of the developer. Then you'll eventually enter into the right asset investment of your product that you've chosen in the location, like I said. और एक छोटा सा एलिमेंट होता है being in the right time at the right place. You have to be a little lucky also.
Okay.
In my case, I've been lucky twice whenever I've done property investment. So I've got the right time. Entry point matters a lot, like in stock
Yes.
market, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you are able to hold at the bottom, then you know you can exit once the stock is being picked up, is peaking up. In real estate also, while the returns in the last few years have been quite stagnant, I'm talking Bombay in certain areas, uh, because like I said that there's been so much of oversupply and ultimately you need to find customers to pay more. Bombay in certain pockets has done really well. Areas like Worli, Bandra, they're picking up, because of the slums being cleared. So if you choose the right location, right developer and the brand, you can very well go ahead and conclude your transaction.
Got it, Deepak. So Deepak, right now in India, like I have seen many people like use OLX and Quicker for finding property. Maybe no broker and few other like here and there apps they are using. Okay. So apart from that, do you think like there are other tool like or like let's say website or technology something they can use to find this like
Yeah.
opportunity to invest? Second is also do let us know, okay, uh, when your app or like the tech what you just like said at the beginning,
Broker
okay,
link.
that like how they can like access and even like when that will be live so that and how the users can like get into
Yeah.
that as well. Yes, yes.
So my broker link app should be live. I don't know if you can see my screen. It's a small icon here, which I don't know if I can show you clearly.
Yeah.
So you can see the broker link app, which we are using currently at the beta stage. It's still being tested. This will allow a customer to, or rather, this is a platform for the broker, not for the customer right now. I believe in the philosophy of taking people along and doing work, and that's what has been, that's what I've been doing over the years. I feel the brokers, once you have a middle person, and that person is a known person, is a professional. I'm not talking about any broker who doesn't know anything about real estate. He will definitely guide you well. Okay. So beyond all the portals that you're telling me, let me tell you, I can just name you some of the portals, but I do not want to take responsibility of all the information that they put on the portals. You have housing.com, you have 99 acres, you have Magic Bricks.
Yeah.
Now these portals are there, which gives you the information. Okay. But ultimately, a decision has to lie in your hands. So, like I said, you can do if you're well educated and you're able to compare projects, if you're able to understand the financials, you can very well take that decision in your hand. But I still feel that you need to have a broker who probably understands real estate more because there's so many complicated issues to be looked into, right? From documentation to the legal assets to the clearance to the finance to the developer reputation. And do we really have so much of time to really get into all of these? In Bombay, it takes 2 to 3 hours to go from one location to the other. Same the situation in other metros. Bangalore has become even more worse. So you want to have somebody who's a professional give you guidance over property. So let me suggest you, yeah, aside portals, please always look for a broker, a good, reputed, and a known person. And every one of us have, I think, one broker who we know who can guide us well. So it is his responsibility to ensure there is clarity and he gets you the right investment. The only time you need to check whether he's giving you suggesting the right investment if you have not known him earlier. So अगर आप पहली बार उसके साथ transact कर रहे हो, then in that case I would suggest you to at least check with a couple of brokers. The analogy is the same. If you go to the doctors today, I suggest you please do not go to one doctor because every doctor there's so much of financial implications that you do not get the same all the doctors saying the same thing. So I would suggest please refer to 2 3 doctors. The same analogy is here. Refer to 2 3 brokers, see what the options are best, and do a SWOT analysis. Very important for all of us to do a SWOT analysis कि मेरी requirement क्या need क्या है और कौन fulfill कर रहा है. In the end, you'll come with a score, right? That score should ideally give you a basic idea of where you want to invest. So my tech, like I said, coming to your last part of the question, my tech will be up by next 1 month. Phase 2 has been completed. इसका एक पोर्शन पे काम चला which is AI, like you said. Now, what will AI do? AI will probably help my brokers to identify the. You will not find all the brokers who are educated, right? So should we leave them around? So we think that we should educate all of them. So there is a section on my tech which also trains my brokers. It trains them through RERA. So this got 5 phases of training. And once he trains and completes the training, he's actually licensed to start working with us. So we have
Okay.
taken care of that as well, that we do not want anyone and everyone to come on the platform and just start selling.
Yes,
You need
yes.
to know your product. And
Got it.
then post that he can utilize all the services on the platform, suggest the right project to the customer. So we do the due diligence of selecting the right project ourselves. We've done that. We've got a research team. So we minimize the work of the customer. So I think if you follow this route, you'll be more or less secure and not like how in Delhi and Gurgaon, like 70-80% of the inventories are launched but not sold, or rather sold but not delivered.
Got it, Deepak. So, now I'll ask you like some personal finance question, Deepak. Like, if you are okay, like you can answer, or else like we
Yeah,
can
yeah, Kedar,
skip. Okay?
I will try to give you my whatever, as
Yeah.
long as you're not asking me what amount we have in a bank.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah. So, my question to you is, who secretly like shaped you the way you think about like money and investment and asset classes, owning things, and what money habits or principle do you follow very religiously right now to become like wealthy?
See, I'll tell you what, this is something that I want every kid today to start learning. I think our generation, not that we are too old though, but still millennials did learn a few things very, very, in principled manner. Let me tell you an example. I was from a very well-to-do family, and my dad was a commissioner in APMC. He sent us for schooling in Darjeeling. Now, for the 4 brothers that we studied, we would get only 500 rupees for 3 months for 4 of us. Huh? तो आई used to think यार am I poor, you know, पैसे क्यों नहीं मिलते यार, बाकी लोग तो खर्चे कर रहे हैं. I only realized we had money after I passed out 10th. When I came and I went with my dad and I spent time with him, I realized he was quite well to do. So I wondered why did he not give us money? So I realized it then. He's taught us the value of the money first. So before you start making money, you have to have the value of money. It starts with that. Second stage is ki where do you want to really start investing? So, like I said, you have to diversify your investments. I got into real estate investment very early on. मैंने कॉलेज पास किया, मेरा सबसे पहला इन्वेस्टमेंट था मेरा घर. 18,000 की सैलरी थी, उसमें से 5,000 मेरा EMI जा रहा था. So I did that. Today, what happens today when a person gets his first job, he buys an iPhone, which is a liability, it's not an asset, or he'll buy a car. So that's the second thing I did. That I got. I didn't want to stay in a rented flat, so I told my dad, I need to buy a house because So my dad helped me with the initial investment, but he also asked me to bear the EMI cost.
Yeah.
So I got into that discipline. Third thing was I understood that where do you get the highest returns? The highest returns are the risks are higher. That is stock market. So that is where I made a certain portion of my investments went really well because I was into the financial sector and I could understand that the markets are doing really well. See, you have to be very, very wary of what's happening in and around you, and you have to be watchful. For example, people would have made money in crypto, and so if you're aware of how the crypto works,
Yeah.
definitely should invest there. But I didn't understand, so I did not. I understood real estate, so I did that. So you need to understand what is happening around you and make savings into different asset class and put in different baskets. Even when you're investing in stock, you would not want to put the entire money into say one particular script. You don't want to choose the top 20 blue chip companies and then, portion it out and be watchful. Let me also give you another lesson that money is controlled and can be grown only once you are taking care of it. I
Yeah.
gave my portfolio to one of my friends to, look after. It was always coming down and down. So I took the, entire thing into my hand and realized that I was doing a much better job to my portfolio than this guy.
Yeah.
So you need to be cautious into how you are handling and who's handling your money. And a certain portion of your income has to be saved from right from day one. And if you're not able to do it by age of 40 or 50, you'll realize that at the time when your body is not really working well and it's not the on the highest peak, you have to do the hard work. So to all my, I don't know, youngster friends and all the Gen Zs, of course, my daughters are also in the same category. I try to teach them and tell them, you start doing the savings for wherever you understand, whether it is the gold that you like, whether it is metals, whether you want to invest into very small. And there are for property also. In fact, they are my ex-colleagues. They have started up platforms where you need to invest in very small amount. It's like stock market. So there is a property, there is a land or a commercial tower. You just need to take a small portion, and whatever is the valuation that the project achieves in a year of time, you get the return. So you need to be, aware
Like
of all
REITs
investments.
and even fractional real estate. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's called
Yeah.
fractional. Correct.
Yeah.
So that's done by a company called Alt DRX. It's a
Okay.
Bangalore-based company, and they're doing a pretty good job there.
Got it. Got it, Deepak.